Hello, patrons! Hi! I've tried to make this video like 4 times and I keep getting interrupted, like phone calls, emails. Um, Hopefully I can finish this all in one take. Anyways, it's been a while since I made a video to talk directly to you guys, and I feel bad about that, so I apologize. I hope to increase videos for you. Maybe more interesting ones than this. This is just kind of a catch-up, like a little bit what's happened in the recent past, what's gonna go on in the near future, and then some information that's a little bit of like, what do you think? Like just to test the waters. So the first thing I want to talk about is the past. So recently I started a podcast. Episode 1 is available in the iTunes store already. Of course, it's free. And episode 2 is already recorded and edited and basically ready to go. The next 3 episodes have been recorded, but I haven't edited them yet. So, anyways, there's a long time frame to deal with that. The only thing is when I went to upload the second episode, it was too long. I think it was 20 or 30 minutes, and I didn't have quite enough space. If I bounce the file down to a 1-track file instead of a stereo file, which would be 2 tracks, left and right channel, maybe I could have done that, but I like stereo. So, anyways, what I will probably do is upload those to YouTube. And of course, I will make links available on the blog and here in Patreon. Another thing in the recent past that I wanted to talk about, sorry, my nose itches, is just this kind of crazy idea that I've been thinking about for a while, and a friend of mine who works in the tourism industry here in Tokyo talked to me about, and that was the idea of history tours, or at least history walks, or we would call it a rekishi sanpo. And I've given my friends tours around the city. I've walked with my other Japanese history nerd friends, go all around Edo Castle, walk through Shinagawa. I walk through Zojoji and Kaneji to see the Tokugawa shogun graves all the time. And what we were talking about was, how cool would it be if we organized like JapanThis tours or JapanThis walks, and kind of threw that out there, that if you were in Tokyo or you were coming to visit Japan and you really loved Japanese history and you wanted to see some of these things that we've talked about on the blog, but you might not know where they are or how to get there in the most efficient amount of time, and where would we stop for lunch or do dinner or drinks afterwards. So it seemed like a really cool idea, and this is something that I had been thinking about before, and when my friend tossed the idea out there, this possibility of a collaboration sort of theoretically is coming together. So it's very early stages. I don't know how possible it is. I don't even know if there's actual interest. But I wanted to throw that out there, see what you guys think, and if you think that's cool, leave a comment in the comment section, either on YouTube or on Patreon. The next topic is also about the past, but this will segue into the future. So, as related to history walks and whatnot, I recently acquired this very interesting book, which is called Walking the Daimyo Residences. And it's a small book, but it's kind of thick. And it basically walks you through quite literally, like a walking tour, through the daimyo districts of Edo, and points out, well, you know, this lot used to belong to this daimyo, this lot used to belong to this daimyo, or you know, this monument commemorates this, or this is actual leftover piece of that residence, or, you know, be there a gate or something like that. Granted, there aren't a lot of things left over from the daimyo residences. The few that did make it out of the Meiji era, I think, were probably destroyed in the Great Kanto earthquake in 1923. I don't really know how much of them were actually intact, though. But anyways, that segues into our next section. You've probably noticed this drink conspicuously placed here. That was quite intentional because I wanted to save the last part as a surprise. So let's have a drink here. After work, it's good to relax. So over here you notice my stack of books. These are some of the books that I very often have to refer to for research for the blog. There are a lot of maps in here too, but there are two things I wanted to talk about specifically. Two recent acquisitions. One was a Christmas present, actually. Christmas present? Yeah, Christmas present. And the other, well, is an evaluation copy. But upcoming, and maybe the thing that I'm most excited about in the next month, is doing 2 book reviews. And I have 2 very, very special books. The first one is this sort of wood-bound hard copy of Hiroshige's 100 Famous Views, of Edo. So there's actually more than 100 in the collection, but this is one of the most famous ukiyo-e series, just showing famous places around Edo, places that Edo people would have recognized as, you know, desirable spots to go visit. Has this nice binding like that, and you can open like this. The book itself, you can see that interesting binding there, gives a little background on Hiroshige, but then it literally goes through every print in full, gorgeous color. I mean, this is a beautiful, beautiful book. And, you know, on JapanThis, I use a lot of Hiroshige's paintings for, you know, pictures in the articles, because sometimes those are the only, I guess they're sometimes the only account, like visual account, that we have of certain areas. Of course, there are written accounts, but when you can actually see the picture, it means so much more. So this book is pretty huge. I have serious ADD and I get distracted by the pictures rather than the text, but I want to evaluate both levels of the text and the book itself. Pretty sure it's going to get a good review, because every day I just sit here and like drool over how beautiful this book is. I love it. I love it. The second book just arrived in the mail today, and this is another very large book, and it's pretty big. This one is called Photography in Japan from 1853 to 1912. So unlike, well, just some background, I have a lot of photography books on Japanese photography, especially in the Bakumatsu and early Meiji period. And those are Japanese books put out by Japanese publishing companies in Japanese. They always tend to have the same pictures. They get recycled a lot. And it focuses on the actual history, not so much the photography. Whereas this book actually focuses on literally the history of photography in Japan. So what were some trends? What are, who were the active players? But this is also a beautiful, beautiful book. Obviously, the person who designed the book put a lot of love and attention into it. But it also has a lot of pictures that, honestly, I hadn't seen before. Here's some Ainu people. You can check out their very strange makeup. Yeah, it was really cool to see some new pictures, or in particular colorized versions of other pictures that I had in other books, Japanese books, but those books were just printed all in black and white, maybe to save money, I don't know. This edition went all out. So I am going to review both of those next month, and I'm really looking forward to sharing these with you, because I know they're gonna get good reviews, because I already have been looking through them and they're awesome. All right, I guess that's all the catching up that I've got to do. If you guys have any questions, comments, suggestions, I don't know, horrible epithets that you want to hurl at me, anything is okay. You can leave a comment in the YouTube notes, or you can leave a comment in the Patreon notes, or you can hit me up on Facebook, on Twitter, you can hit me up on Flickr, you can hit me up on the blog itself. Shouldn't forget about that. Many ways to get a hold of me. So, all right, that's it. I hope you guys have a great afternoon, evening, morning, whatever time it is where you are when you see this. Thank you for your continued support. I really appreciate it. Love you. You guys are special. Peace.